Everybody, we are back. It is Tapedontlie Lodge, favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at M195 for Matt, and of course pandasups.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. Also, make sure you guys use this QR code right here. Boom. And you can use this QR code to get 15% off on this very cool Mendoza shirt. And if you don't like the Mendoza shirt, of course, you can get anything else with Raiders gear there, 15% off, okay? Also, make sure you guys check that out too as well. All right, and then also make sure you hit the Tapedontlie Live store. We got the new Friday Night Live shirts. I got them rocking it right now. It's for Friday Night Live shirts. Also, of course, there's all types of TDL gear on there too. I was thinking about making a pillowcase. So if you guys want to, you got a pillowcase, you know what I'm saying? You got some sweaters.
TDL.
You can sleep with TDL. You can drink out of it with a tumbler. You can drink some coffee with it. You know what I mean? You just Raiders and TDL everything. So make sure you guys enjoy all that stuff too. So, but today we're doing Dante Thornton and Jack Bech. Dante Thornton and Jack Bech to start kind of finishing up our training camp previews. Probably do one more, and then training camp starts next Thursday. And we got everybody signed. Mendoza and McCoy signed, and the rookies have reported. With Dante Thornton, JPJ, and Max Crosby, I believe those guys have reported as well, which is I think is kind of interesting. Those guys reported, but what are your thoughts, Matt, on that? All of this?
Yeah, well, it was funny. I think I texted it to you. We recorded the Tuesday or the Wednesday episode on Tuesday night before, and talking about Gerard McCoy and Fernando Mendoza, how they didn't sign, and then literally the next morning we got the ESPN update that McCoy was going to go sign his contract. So that was a fun one to rehash on the episode. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I think we talked about it. I think I even mentioned it. Like I had a feeling this was going to happen where like the Raiders were going to announce this stuff like literally the day before or the day of that they report. I feel like they're kind of notorious for doing stuff like that. So wasn't too surprising to see the timing. Just wish it would have happened a little bit sooner. I think it would have saved a lot of people a lot of heartache for the last few weeks. But if you weren't concerned about it and did what I think most of us told us and went out and touched some grass, enjoy your time off, then you're vindicated. Because again, like I said before, there's really no difference between Mendoza signing his contract the day after the draft and the day they reported to camp. He's still in there getting the playbook down and all that stuff. So just happy to see it's all resolved and we avoided a disaster with the potential rookie holdout. That's become very rare recently.
Yeah. I mean, it was just about the lump sum language. So they got that all fixed out and fixed up and stuff like that. I mean, it's still a pretty good contract. 4 years, $57 million, and it says so. I mean, it's basically
not bad.
It's like a good tight end contract.
I don't know. Have you seen all those videos and seen all the taxes? Did you know that athletes pay taxes too? And it's pretty hard to live. My favorite part about those videos are when they go through everything, and it's like still like several $1 million that someone making like $100,000 a year would take decades to make.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, you make a lot of money, you got to pay more taxes. I'm sorry, dog. And it's you know what I mean? It's really not as much as it should be. So you should be happy about that, in my opinion. You should be happy you should get the 10 million.
Really, if you cut it in half and you buy your girlfriend a house and all the handbags and all that stuff, it's really only like 10 million.
Yeah, it depends. Maybe they're doing on Pay in 4. Pay in 4 is pretty out there these days. Maybe they're buying the Birkin bags, paying it over time. You know what I mean? Maybe they're doing that now, Matt. Who knows? All right. But today we're talking Dante Thornton and Jack Bech. But yeah, your thoughts on this battle here. I'll say with mine, I tried to be as positive as possible, but it was hard to be positive. So what about your breakdown, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, Jack Bech, there's stuff to like. I think he will be in an offense that is a little bit better suited for him, but at the same time, there's a lot that he has to work on. Big part of me that worries about Jack Bech is we know he's not like a great athlete, and I think he struggles to beat press coverage, and I think that showed up a lot. And a big part of it is he just doesn't have like the shiftiness and the short area quickness. So that's kind of like one of my big concerns. Like, is that a red flag, or is that something that he's actually going to get better at? And obviously, we'll see here in the preseason how that looks. But when he's, gets off coverage and, he can really like kind of work those short to intermediate routes. Like I do think he has like some good route running ability and like he has some nuance to him a little bit. We'll see an example of that. Actually, his first catch of his career was pretty impressive. A nice little nuanced route that I thought he did a pretty good job of. And I think he's good on contested catches. So it's kind of the give and take. Like typically the fatal flaw with the guys that can't separate is that they can't make catches with the defenders hanging on them. And I don't think that's the case with Jack Bech, where I think he can be a guy that maybe get some 50-50 balls to and stuff like that, maybe a few back shoulder throws. But the thing that is concerning with me, and I think that was probably a big reason why he didn't get as much playing time as last year, on top of the coaching staff just not giving him the opportunities, is the lack of athleticism, which does show up on tape. And as we know, it doesn't have the long speed. So I think he's always going to be kind of at best like a two-dimensional type of receiver, right? Can win for areas and win in the intermediate. I don't think he's ever going to be able to beat people deep or be a threat to win vertically or stuff like that. So that's the one thing. And the other thing is too, I did throw in a handful of run blocking clips just because I think that's something that's going to be huge in Kubiak's offense. Like if you go back and watch, if I'm Jack Bech, I'm watching as much Cooper Kupp tape as I can, and I'm not trying to profile anybody, but I think those two guys, they've drawn some comparisons together. And I mean, Cooper Kupp, like I know he didn't have like a monster year statistically, but that guy was mixing it up in the run game and was constantly a fixture in the Seahawks like perimeter rushing attack, and why they had so much success. And I think Bech can do that, but he definitely still has some areas of improvement in that space too that we'll take a look at here.
Yeah, I like Jack Bech's game coming to college, but it always feels like that he was a guy that played a little bit more inside than outside. And you're right. If he had to play outside, it's not like he's gonna be able to beat people deep, really, right? I mean, it had to be like the back shoulder contested catches type of things. But we'll see how much he grows. But the blocking is gonna be big for him. That's why I think they might like him a little bit better than Thornton. Thornton blocks too, but because the problem with Thornton Jr. is that he can't catch. I think that's the biggest problem. Out of all the things I get, does he run good dig routes and things like that? No. But he actually doesn't have a terrible release. He doesn't have a terrible release. So he finds ways to win deep. It's just like, let's say the ball's underthrown. Like, and is he able to track the ball in the air and jump up and use athleticism to catch it? Probably not. And if it's even like a close contested catch, is he able to bring it in? Probably not. And to me, he's better in the slot too. I feel like that he should be a guy that they kind of move inside as well. So, it's type. Yeah, like a big slot guy, because then it does the same thing where he gives him a free release and he doesn't have to, worry about some of the more nuanced things that you have to do to catch the ball outside, right? When you're inside, you don't have to worry about some of those things. You just run a route. You can just run a drag route, or you can just run like a dig route or anything like that, or some of those things that you have to worry about, the contested catch part of it, because also with him, like the real difference between him and Jack Bech is Jack Bech does like the small nuanced things, playing my receiver a little bit better than him. Like, come back to football. Dante Thornton does not come back to the football. I left out the Geno Smith pick 6 that was targeted to him, but he definitely should have came back to the football on that one. I still think it would have been a pick 6, but maybe he would have broke it up. Maybe he would have been a little bit break up. He came back to the football, just waiting for the ball to come to him. But there's another play I'm going to show where if he doesn't come back to the football, right? So that there's the smaller nuanced things that Jack Bech does better than Dante Thornton. That I think that's what's going to put Jack Bech a little bit over the top, unless Dante Thornton starts catching the football, right? I mean, that's because Malik Benson could do what he could do, and Malik Benson doesn't drop the ball. You know what I mean? So that's a big uphill battle for Dante Thornton to make this football team all together.
Yeah, and I think like when you talk about like Thornton and Jack Bech, like when you touched on it a little bit too, like the difference is, okay, both guys might struggle to create separation, but Bech can win in the 50-50 balls. Bech can win in the contested catch situations where, like you talked about before, Thornton can. That's kind of like we'll talk about. That's usually the fatal flaw for a wide receiver, when you don't have great hands and you can't create separation. And on top of it, you can't make contested catches, and that was an area that he struggled in pretty heavily last year. So, but you bring up Malik Benson, and I don't know, that's going to be an interesting one to keep tabs on. Who could be the sneaky guy in this competition as can move forward. Because you're right, Malik Benson, I think, can do a lot of or everything that Dante Thornton can, and I think he might. And I think he at least has a better chance to develop a bigger route tree in the NFL than what Dante Thornton has, I should say, right now. So,
yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. All right, let's start off with some Dante Thornton. Let's get into it.
Sounds good.
All right, so start off with the positive here. Now, this one talking about him just playing better in the slot. Now, of course, he ends up, facing these guys make a mistake because they're early in the season for the Chargers. They both guard the same guy here. But what I like from him from the slot position is just the ability to kind of just run these quick drags here, right? And you don't have to worry about supreme route running on some of these things. Mm-hmm. You just kind of get him the ball in space, and he could just use his speed, like on this one right here. Yeah, nice play. And he can get upfield, get about 20 yards there. Nice. So just type of things you could do with him inside. And I think he does a better job of getting flat inside too. Like you see, he did a good job getting flat on this one, and not rounding it off. He just plays a little bit better inside.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another one against Washington here. Now this one is outside, but he has an inside release, which kind of switch here, and he becomes a slot receiver. And what I like about this one too is that he does a good job of selling this kind of go on this one. As you can see, he keeps his eyes up. Now, what ends up happening here is this safety right here ends up flipping his hips here. I don't know what he's expecting. He's expecting a post route. I'm not sure what the safety is thinking, but it makes it real easy here for Thornton. And Thornton does a good job of catching this football, right? And keeping his feet in the sidelines here, getting down. So that's what I'm talking about. It's more these inside releases. You can get him on these corner routes from inside where he's getting these free releases. He's not getting people's hands on him and things like that. Here he gets his cover 2 look. You can get him some easier targets, easier looks. All right. And then even when he was running outside, I thought he did a good job on these double moves. I'm going to show it later. It kind of gets frustrating because he doesn't catch the ball, huh? But as you can see here, this is a good route right here, Bo. It's a good route, kind of selling the dig route here against Carlton Davis. And of course, he's gone here, and his ball's severely underthrown. He does a good job of coming back to the football here.
Yeah.
This is the play where I knew that the Geno Smith might be a myth, because I was like, why did you move out of the pocket here? Just throw from the pocket. I was literally about to say, why are you bailing out of the pocket?
I get the blitz is coming, but that's the best blitz the O-line picked up all season.
Made it throw tougher than it had to be. A good job coming back to the football and making a play on it. But that's a good route, man.
Yeah, that's a good touchdown.
And we talk about Jack Bech and Dante Thornton here. I just wonder sometimes if Jack Bech was featured like Dante Thornton was. He was featured, man. All the targets I went through were literally week 1 through 8. I was like, wow, they really tried to get this guy going.
His fall off was interesting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If him and Jack Bech switch, what would that be like?
Yeah.
So it's super interesting with that. This is kind of one of the best routes he ran all year. Of course, he didn't get the football here. Maybe Geno Smith thought this was a too tough throw, but he ends up throwing it to Trey Tucker in coverage. But what I like about this one, and this one's about him playing more inside because he's condensed here. So he's the outside guy, right? But he's in a condensed set, right? And 12 personnel from a condensed set, so he's still playing in the slot, even though he's technically the outside guy, right? But you get the play action here, and what happens is since he is the inside guy, he gets a free release, and this corner here goes into side turn, right? And then he's so worried about his speed, kind of freaks out a little bit, and he does a good job of just changing directions right there, and he's wide open.
Yeah, nice move.
But So that's why I think that if you could just move him inside a little bit and get him lined up on some of these safeties, there might be something there a little bit.
Yeah.
So here's another example of him playing inside, and I think this is actually a pretty decent route, right? Good release. I think he does a good job of kind of working the arm over through contact, and then it does a good job of timing kind of this. You get into kind of a crosser and the dig underneath here, right? And creates the separation right there, right? Does a good job timing that, getting these guys running to each other. Of course, for some reason, Geno Smith is pump faking the football. I guess he's worried about getting the ball knocked down. I'm not sure. Okay. But this is a good route. He's open here, right? If this ball's out on time where it should be, he's catching this football. But the problem is, this is what's about the nuance here, right? So now Gino is releasing this football. See, and he keeps fading, which allows his corner to jump on it. Like, you have to make sure you got to come back to this football.
Yeah.
This is time like you got. Go ahead.
I was just saying, a guy like Stevenson who's the corner, he's all ball skills, so that's exactly what he's looking for. If you start coming off the field, so he can recover.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you want. You want to be able to come back to the football when you make these type of plays. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
All right. So on this one, you're gonna get a dig route on this one. This run here. Now on this dig route, you kind of can see he rounds it off a little bit. You want him to get flat on his 30 on this one, in my opinion, right?
Ran the dig like a post.
I know. That's a great analogy there for that. Yeah. And you kind of want him to get flat here on this one.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't end up working out. But like he still is able to kind of get in front of this ball, make a catch. But you just can see the rawness in the running the dig routes here, man. Especially when it comes to like changing directions, it gets kind of funky there.
Yeah. Ran himself into that safety, honestly. Made that harder than it needed to be.
All right, here's another one, another dig route. This one ended up coming back because of a hold, but this one's a little bit better, right? I mean, take a little bit more time he doesn't round it off. And this is funny. This is earlier in the season. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But you kind of can see him he gets flat and he's coming back towards the football, right? So it just becomes a better route. Then he ends up catching it, right? Ends up being a nice little play there on third down. Of course, JPJ held Chris Jones on this one, so it didn't work out. But nice, better route from Dante Thornton. So, right, because for him the problem is, as you can see, for him to change direction quickly, he has to do this little stutter step. He has to do that for it to be a better route.
Yeah.
And this is just something I want to see more from him on these type of routes here. Is just being able to find the football in the air, right? And using his size. Get back here. Using his size to make catches, because I mean, this could be a theme in a second, okay? Because this is what you want. Use your size. You're 6'5", right? He doesn't get his feet down here, of course. Mm-hmm. Which sometimes it's just the natural receiving ability. Is I just like, did he play receiver in high school? I kind of want to look that up, because sometimes it's like, man. Right? I mean, just look at that.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want to get your feet down there, but when it's a contested catch, man, you want him to be aggressive and using his hands, finding the football in the air, tracking it in the air, and making these type of plays like this right there, right? Yeah. You want to get that toe tapped in, get the toe down, but that's what you want from him.
Yeah, the problem is you just let Banks widen him too much to the sideline.
Yeah.
Didn't have enough room. Ran out of real estate.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So let's get to the real issue. The real issue is the hands. All right. Now, this is what I'm talking about, him playing inside, right? Because you can see him lined up inside here, right? There's Dante Thornton with Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker in a little bunch set there. He does a good job of allowing Jacoby Myers to get the release. He does a good job of getting flat here, right, against his zone coverage, okay? Now, this isn't – the thing is he doesn't stay flat, which is kind of a little bit of a problem, and maybe why this ball actually ends up being kind of not where it should be, even though I still think that, Gino, even if it's flat, I think I don't know what kind of ball fades like this a little bit that much. But then he just ends up just making a big drop. And this really was cost the Raiders the game against the Bears here. It's just this play right here. And, like, even then, like, I need you to catch this football.
Yeah. That was third down, too. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. Because he might be able to just roll in the end zone.
Yeah.
See here, just. And and a little, as I say, a little bit of the problem is that he is continuing to fade here, but it's just well,
yeah, he likes to drift.
Yeah,
you can see that.
Now this one, like, this is one of his better releases here, right here.
Yeah,
and you're gonna see in this one, right? Good job, just kind of getting square and then getting upfield quickly, right? He just outruns this guy. He's just faster than him. Right here, you're thinking, okay, this is my thing too. Like when you beat somebody like this and you're 6'5", and this guy's in panic mode, you should this should be your ball no matter what, in my opinion. When you're that 6'5", you got a guy in panic mode because you're in full control. He doesn't know where the ball is, right? Like if he kind of just stopped right here, jumped, and made this catch, like I think this ends up being a better catch, right? But here, even then, like you just can't let this corner get this. You got to be able to stack this corner a little bit better, right? Keep where he can't get his hands in on you like this, and that's just nuances of playing wide receiver. Knock that ball out.
That just go up and get it, like kind of what you're talking about before.
You gotta go up and get this football, man. Right, like right here, like go up and get the damn football.
Go get the rebound.
Yeah, because like if he does that, either you're getting pass interference, right, or that, but you don't want that. Where it's just ball's getting knocked out. All right, now this one is just a pure drop here on this one, another pure drop. Now this ends up being a great route against Riley Moss here, right? Boom. And he just runs right past him. Good round, a little stutter step on the 989 concept here. Now, you find the ball in the air. You just gotta make this catch, man. Just right through his hands.
Yeah, we gotta have that one.
Yeah, and you can see it from this angle here too. Like. Like you gotta catch that ball, man.
It's one of those plays too where like you see the still shots, you're like, how did he drop that?
Now this one it just shows how much I pay attention to this Chiefs game. I'll tell you that. This last game is how much I pay attention. I totally forgot about this play, but he beats two guys here, right? This is what I'm talking about. Him playing in the slot. Okay?
He beats bracket coverage.
Yeah, he beats bracket coverage. He's playing inside, right? It's a good release. He beats two guys. He beats bracket coverage, right? And this is a good throw from Kenny Pickett. It's just right through his hands. And you're going to see it from the other angle. I was like, oh, my God. I totally forgot about this play. I don't remember this at all.
It's the best throw Pickett had as a Raider.
Maybe of his career.
Maybe.
Like, right here. Like, that. Yeah. Like maybe you could make the case the guy's holding his arm. Maybe I don't think so.
But like go up, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. Go up and get it. You're 6'5", play big.
Yeah, get this damn football. Oh man. But that's what I'm saying. That's why this whole play I'm gonna bring it up. Like he literally beats two guys. Like this is what you want. That's what I'm saying. If you can get him inside like this, man.
That's a great pylon route, and that's a Kubiak staple right there. Like that's a big part of the playbook, big part of the Shanahan playbook.
And you just couldn't bring it in, man. Bring it in. All right, and then like sometimes he just has problems with just tracking the football in the air too. Like this one, like this one, he just runs right past him. Like just a speed release, runs right past the guy. Right, he's got the you stack him right here. You got the leverage, stack him. Right now, the ball's a little underthrown. But for some reason, he doesn't realize it's underthrown. The corner does more than he does, and it didn't work out. Like right here, boom. You could do a little veteran shove here and high point this football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, there's this one too here against the Chargers. Like, don't look at Trey Tucker at the bottom. All right, so but Geno Smith throws it back shoulder, and this is being tough at the catch point right here, because even this is not a bad throw from Geno Smith. I'm gonna be honest with you, on a back shoulder throw. It's not a terrible throw on a back shoulder. You should be able to catch this football, right? But what happens is the guy rips the ball out, and the ball goes in the air, and then Tony Jefferson picks it off.
Yeah, it looks like the same thing too. Like the same thing as that one against the Giants. Like just gets way too wide, or ends up getting wide and way too much. Because even if he catches it, I don't think he's going to be in bounds with where he's at.
Yeah, he's not.
Nice play by Jefferson.
I know, right? Like 38, man. All right,
2 years ago.
It's crazy, but yeah, and this is the last play here, and this one just kind of shows more the route running really that he has to work on, and like how it's just not really there right now, because you can see this safety's playing inside leverage. He's got to run a dig here, and he just gives this guy nothing. Like it's just, and he just completely rounds the route off too, like it's a post route, and you could see him and Trey Tucker look him and Trey Tucker, they're running the same route. Mm-hmm. You see Trey Tucker's more flat here, which is why I don't know why he's not throwing the ball at Trey Tucker, but that's a different story. Like I don't, that's not gonna happen here anymore.
We needed that loss. Just remember that we needed that loss to the Giants. Any Giants clip that's positive, I'm like, ooh, do I want to put this? We needed that one. We needed that bad play.
So yeah, so something saying if you can move him inside, and you get some routes where you line him up on a safety, there might be something there for some big plays. Some corner routes. He doesn't run a bad corner route, right? And maybe get him on a post route, 1-on-1 and a safety, right? And that's all on that's in Kubiak's mind. I think Kubiak is the guy that would have the mind to do that. I don't see why. Understand Chip Kelly and them. They thought he was going to be Randy Moss or something. I don't know what they saw in camp. I don't know what did he do in camp. This is where I want to go. What did he do there?
Yeah. If you remember this time of year last year, he was getting more hype than Jack Bech. Like he was running with the ones ahead of Jack Bech, and like he just fell off. It was one of the weirdest things I think that happened in last season. But I will say, like he did, like just watching the handful of clips, like he did win more than I think I realized this past year. So it gives me a little bit more hope. But I think you're right. I think right now he's got 3 routes, which is the corner, the post, and a go route. If you ask him to make anything more than that, like even the dig you showed me, like when you were like we didn't like drift as bad. Yeah. Well, I think he ran the ball, or he had to run the route at like 75% to be able to make the cut. So that's kind of what makes me worried. And like the problem is like kind of like what you were alluding to too is he's a 6'5" speed receiver who plays like a 5'11" speed receiver. You know what I mean? Like he has the problems that you like normally talk about with the speed receivers, but he like Trey Tucker have that size. Yeah, what I would expect Trey Tucker to play like that versus Dante Thornton Jr. It's kind of funny how that ends up working. So yeah, that's the thing that gets me most frustrating is like the fact that you're that big and you don't play it. Like the fact that you play smaller to your size, whereas a guy like Trey Tucker plays bigger. Jalen Naylor plays bigger than his size. Not that those guys are like 50-50 balls or anything like that, but they play bigger than they are at 5'11". Then they play bigger at 5'11" than Dante Thornton does at 6'5".
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. All right, let's get some Jack Bech, man. Let's check it out.
Start with the negative here. This first clip is going to be one of the first ones that I think we'll see where he just struggles to beat press coverage. Like if you like look at this, like I'll let it run through the first time. But like the biggest thing for me, like if you watch Jack Bech on this, like he does kind of a lot of dancing, but it's like all with his like arms and hands, and there's nothing with like his head or his shoulders or like foot firing or anything like that. So especially against a veteran corner like Charvarius Ward, like, he's just unfazed. Like he's just gonna like open up and ride and watch your stomach and ride your hip down the line.
Yeah.
And as you can see, like that's where the lack of long speed kind of plays in, where you just can't create separation. Granted, I do think he probably would have had a chance at the back shoulder with a more accurate throw. But obviously pocket collapsing on Geno a little bit there too, and he sailed it. So again, this one more than anything just kind of shows the lack of speed. Again, facing press coverage. The release this time's not as bad. He doesn't really do anything fancy. He just kind of goes for that speed release. And to be fair to him, Quinyon Mitchell's is a 4.3 guy, so I'm not expecting him to win deep. But again, this is just another example of where he's just not going to be that vertical threat. Although I will say I'll give him props just for getting a hand on this ball because that was a damn near impressive catch.
I know.
So this is the difference between Jack Bech and Dante Thornton.
100%.
Jack Bech will go up and get it. Again, he doesn't get it on this one, but he'll at least go up and give himself.
Yeah, because like I said, if that was like a Joe Burrow throw, like he probably catches that. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Joe Burrow, a little more loft line. Oh, this is Kenny Pickett, so
yeah, exactly.
Not exactly the strongest arm. Again, this one going to be a slant, just locked up.
Yeah,
I will say he had a chance to catch on this one, but the same thing. Just doesn't have quite the short area quickness and to beat press coverage, and doesn't really do enough with his feet. I'll also say on this one, I think we're probably being a little bit more better and can help because this corner has inside leverage, and he tries to widen outside to create space on the inside for the slant. But I think he'd be better off actually go releasing inside to win inside, because that would give him that two-way go and kind of force that corner to hesitate for a second. Whereas when he just goes outside, the corner just parks him, just kind of like opens his hips, gets that jam in on his chest.
Yeah,
and it's game over from there.
Yeah, I think he let him into his chest too quick too. Like I try to create more space. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna do that type of route to like, you wanted more of a diamond release, in my opinion, if you're gonna do that.
Yeah. I think too, like kind of what you're talking about right about here, drops his hands. That corner sees the opportunity.
Yeah.
Still has a chance to make the catch, but third down, that's not going to do us anything anyway. One more here against L'Jarius Sneed, who was cut by the Titans in the offseason. Yeah, like this is these whip routes. Obviously, ball doesn't get to him here, but these whip routes, you can really benefit if you have good change of direction and you're super quick, or it just takes a little bit too long to get in and out of that break.
Yeah.
And on top of it too, like doesn't win at the line. Sneed just runs with him the entire time. So that is the one spot that I get a little bit more nervous with Jack Bech as far as his future, just because he doesn't have that in his bag.
Yeah.
But moving on to the positive, this is the route I was talking about at first. I thought he showed a really good nuance on it, created a ton of separation. On this little curl route, I also like the little turn up field to go pick up an extra 10.
Yeah.
But part of what I'm talking about too is, like, if you notice, like he's going to do that fake like stutter and go route, and it doesn't quite work on the corner on this one. But the reason why I like that he did that, if you watch Gino's eyes, like Bech understands he's like the last person in the progression. So especially against off coverage, he has time to pull that move off. And on top of it too, he ends up creating the separation with a nice little, that veteran push by that you're talking about with Dante Thornton.
Exactly.
His hand right there, pushing that hip and then exaggerating the corner's movement to kind of create that separation. On top of it, sets him up for a nice little, sets him up to get some yak.
Yeah, he just has more nuance to wide receiver position. Basically, that's what kind of separates him.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. A little more of a veteran receiver. Now this route, not a great route, but I included this for you, Marcus.
Oh yes.
Because look what we get here. Coming back to the football.
There we go.
So if you're not going to create separation, at least help your quarterback out, come back to the football. And then again, this is what I'm talking about too. We're like, yeah, he doesn't win on this route. Yeah, there's a lot to work on it as far as like beating press coverage.
Yeah. And
stuff like that and creating separation. But when you do the little things like work back to the football and you can make a contested catch with a DB on your back there, you can make a living in the NFL.
Exactly. And, go back a little bit. What I like about this one too is just because, he's playing against cover 5. So the guy's playing trail technique. So he did a good job of being kind of physical at the top of this route and getting back to in front and then coming back to the football at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little push off. Yeah.
You
know what I'm saying?
It's the chicken wing, right? That's what we used to call it. The little chicken wing. As long as you don't get that full extension, you'll be all right.
Exactly.
Push by, not a push off.
Exactly.
This one, again, the route's nothing to speak of. It's kind of funny when you play that clip of the Chargers having the coverage break. The Broncos have literally the same type of coverage break on this one, just with Jack Bech. So obviously nothing to speak of as far as creating separation. But what I do like that he does is he kind of settles down right around there, like recognizes, hey, I'm wide open. Like, now that I have plenty of room, let's stop running myself into coverage. And on top of it too, like, ends up making a catch with him, a big hit coming from Hufanga, who was I think he was a first-team All-Pro last year. Hufanga, at least second.
I remember this play. This play pissed me off so much because Geno Smith just threw it from the damn pocket.
Yeah, easily. But hey, completions count. Again, these are the type of plays that I think get you a little bit more excited with that. Those contested grabs. You can see like that he was a former tight end. With a lot of different things that he does. This one obviously facing off coverage. I will be honest, like not the greatest route, but what I like that he does is he does a nice job of releasing vertical to kind of keep this corner deep and force that corner to stay honest. And he can do a little bit better of snapping this route off, but he does enough to like again just kind of take advantage of playing off coverage, and just make the grab too. Turn up field too. Again, I like how he can shift gears to get upfield and get north south. Understands how he's built with the ball in his hands. Same kind of thing here. Again, facing off coverage, where I think he does a really good job on this one, especially of kind of keeping his shoulders down. Like you'll see what that does on this route. Like that's going to force that corner to honor the go route, even though he doesn't have the most speed. And like that the corner's already open his hip to turn and run. And on top of it, just hits the brakes on this comeback route.
And comes back to the football. Hey, look at that.
And comes back to the football. The one thing I will say is we got to get rid of the double catch. Come back to the football. Take advantage of
get a first down.
The off coverage. As you can see, the running theme here is just off coverage. Off coverage and contested catch. But same thing. I mean, again, like when he gets these free releases, like I think he can be pretty damn good. Same thing. Like he keeps his shoulders down, and that gets Moss to start bailing, and then just hits the brakes.
Yeah.
Nice easy catch for first down. So similar to what you're talking about with Thornton, I think he might have a chance to make a name for himself a little bit in the slot when he can get those free releases. And I included this one too because like these drag routes like are big in the Kubiak playbook. And obviously like he gets a little bit of help with the Texans being in man coverage and him working across the field here. But what I like that he does is you'll see it right about here is how he adjusts to the ball and tracks the ball in the air. Like right, for the most part, he's kind of been at this angle, and then right about the the 43. He's like going to adjust to where the ball path is going to be because Geno tries to loft it over Stingley's head there and ends up making a nice catch. So if you want some sort of a reason to believe in Jack Bech, he did make 2 catches against a couple of All-Pros from last season. Stingley and Hufanga. All right, now getting into the run blocking. Again, I really think this is going to be a big part of Bech that kind of going to separate him from the rest of the receivers class because I do think he is a good run blocker, but there were some struggles early on in the season. Like you're going to see this going to be, I think, a little outside zone concept that he's on the backside of. And rather than kind of flowing with the line where everyone else is working wide, like he goes to attack where Trey McDuffie is instead of kind of just staying in path and understanding like, hey, especially on the backside of this, all you really need to do is get a hat on the guy. Just make sure like he's not making the play. And you can see he kind of goes at him, maybe even a little wide. And that just opens up that inside lane for McDuffie to beat him across his face. And then he ends up making a tackle there on the backside. This one's going to be similar. Going up against DeJean here, just the opposite direction. This thing I think was duo that Genty was trying to bounce. And what Genty's trying to do is just trying to run basically off Jack Bech's butt so that he has that outside lane. But the one thing I would say with Bech is like if you watch like his feet are kind of everywhere and all out of whack. And I do think he gets tripped up by the D tackler there right before the contact, which is a big part of the problem. But what I tell him on this one, especially because like again, all we're trying to do is really like pin DeJean inside and give Genty that outside lane to bounce it. Like you can be a little more patient. Like you don't have to like come straight off the line and go get him right now. Like you can kind of let him come to you a little bit, especially with him also playing it patient, and that way you can avoid getting tripped up by the D tackle and still get the hat on the guy. But that's not what happens. And then this one against the Eagles was a little discouraging because he was the nail in this situation, and Reed Blankenship was the hammer.
Yeah, for sure.
Off his feet and driven back a couple of yards. So that one, more than anything, we just can't let the guy in our chest, and we got to be a little bit stronger. But I think this one was the most concerning because he got the fight taken to him on that one. Genty still picks up 11 though. But moving on to the positive reps. Now this rep specifically got me excited. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a former tight end. The little split zone block.
Yeah, okay. All right, Jack. All right, Jack.
The only issue with Brock Bowers does get beat, and that it kind of makes Bech block look worse. But like you can see, like it's 41 here that ends up making the tackle, not 14, which is Bech's guy. Again, nice little split zone. That's perfect. Go pancake a linebacker. I like it. Get nasty with it.
Yeah, no, right there.
That fired me up seeing that from a receiver. And this is one that gave me a little bit more encouragement because this was later in the season, versus that rep against the Eagles where he just like he was too anxious and not patient enough. This time, Raiders are going to go with a little end around to Trey Tucker. And it's the same thing. What they're looking to do is basically just run off Bech's butt, and he's blocking Danielle Hunter, which I don't think I need to explain why that's a mismatch. But he just does a much better job of being patient and then kind of letting Danielle Hunter choose where Hunter wants to go, and just kind of getting a hat on a hat and washing him and riding his momentum inside. As you can see, we got this nice wide lane now towards the outside, and that's because we got our wide receiver blocking the edge defender into the right tackle. And I think Tucker gets 8 on this one, maybe 9.
Yeah.
So nice block on that one. This could be the same play call, just a different formation. This time he's going to go up against a corner, and I think that's Kamari Lassiter. Like you see, this is another good one too. Like now, Kalen Bullock ends up making a heads-up play and sniffs it out to kind of make it all for naught. But what I like that Bech does is, one, he gets good positioning too, where again, same thing. Like they can run off of his butt. Tucker can run off of his butt and has that outside lane. No, on top of it too, he gets some movement too and gets some vertical push to get Lassiter out of the picture. So again, definitely not perfect, but what I do like about Jack Bech is I think he can be your contested catch guy, and he can kind of mix it up in the running game. So I'll be interested to see how Kubiak wants to deploy him, because I do feel like he could be used similarly to Cooper Kupp, but he's obviously got a lot of work to do to get to that level.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like there's more things that show that he could probably be a part of this offense than Dante Thornton. Dante Thornton just seems like more of a gadget deep guy at this point, right? But Bech just seems like, you can make him like a slot possession receiver type of thing where you can move him around and find ways to get him in position. And then, when you get in those condensed sets, he could become that tight end. Like, if you feel like you can't run 12 personnel all the time, you can make him that, that 12 personnel guy, technically, kind of like how the Rams used to do with Skormanek. Am I saying that name? Skormanek?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Skormanek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of like similar, like those, like how McVay used to use him. You could use Bech kind of the same way, and you show some of those blocks that you had, because he had a great one against the Broncos too. I mean, I know the one he also had a great one where it ended up being old because he did it too long. But he had another one in that game where it was a really great block where he helped Genty get a bunch of yards on that one on the other play. So there's a lot of great blocking from him too. So that's kind of the little bit of the benefit that he brings as well. So that's what's going to just kind of separate him, I think, from Dante Thornton, in my opinion. So because just watching Thornton, he's he's got to watch out for Sheldon Jackson too a little bit. You know what I mean?
Cedric Jackson, yeah. Because he also can fly, also is big and can fly. So yeah, that's the thing. Is the bottom of the wide receiver, the depth chart is just wide open. I mean, crap, there's at least one starting spot open if they're going to have 3 receivers. But I think the point you were making about Bech too, like just being an asset in the run game, and like I think the biggest thing about that too is if he can actually do that, like he can change the math a little bit offensively, because if the Raiders can stay in 11 personnel and have a good blocking receiver like Bech, then you're going to get opposing defenses to stay in nickel and keep that extra defensive back on the field, which obviously makes it easier to run the ball when you have another DB, another coverage guy in there versus like another linebacker or a defensive lineman who can stop the run a little bit. So if he can bring that to the table, I think that's going to be a huge asset for the offense moving forward, because again, it almost becomes like a little cheat code if you can have a guy that can mix it up in the running game and catch the passes for you and at wide receiver. So
yeah, I agree with that. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We'll be back again on Wednesday with our final episode before training camp, and then we get new film, man. Guys, the film is coming. We're gonna be doing some new stuff, doing some stuff for memberships and all that stuff. So I've been kind of slacking on that a little bit because it's hard to kind of do a lot of the draft stuff. But once we get the film, man, we're gonna be breaking it down and be doing like all the Mendoza throws. You guys are getting, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting stuff. All right, guys. So we're out of here. Peace.